Hello, in this video we're going to be talking about ko and what the rules are concerning a ko when it pops up in a game. If we look at this situation, we see that white is in Atari by black. If black were to play here, then white will have been captured. However, now it's white's turn. And white could go here, right? And then take this black stone. But if that were the case, then black could go back here and then take that white stone back. And so this would continue to go on and on and on forever if there was not a rule in place to prevent this sort of play. The rule in place to prevent this is called the ko rule. This situation that we're presented with here is called ko. In Japanese, ko means eternity, which makes sense because these moves would happen over and over again for eternity if there wasn't a rule in place. Let's say it's black's turn. If black were to capture at 1, the ko rule says that white cannot capture 1 by placing a stone in the little red dot there. Instead, white has to move somewhere else on the board before it could have the chance to capture 1. So let's say that after 1, white places a stone just somewhere else on the board. Now black can either choose to connect here and prevent 1 from being captured. However, if black decides to place somewhere else, then now after white has gone somewhere else with 2, white can now capture 1. And now black cannot capture 4 because of the ko rule again. So black now has to play somewhere else. If black were to play at 5, and again white were not to respond there, let's say white went here, now black can capture the stone number 4, the white stone, by placing there. And so this is what the ko rule is about. Essentially, you're not allowed to capture a stone in ko unless you go somewhere else first. And this pattern would continue to happen until either black or white decides to connect. So if white went with 8 there, then black could connect with 9, but the ko has been resolved by number 9 connecting those black stones and preventing 7 from being an Atari. Okay, so let's get some practice with ko. Here, stone A is an Atari. Black will decide to capture A by placing the stone right there. Now, white wants to recapture 1. So if you were white, what would you have to do? So because of the ko rule, you can't recapture immediately. So what white is going to have to do is place a stone somewhere else before recapturing 1. So let's say white does the following and wants to recapture A. Now it's black's turn, and what black could do is just end up connecting at 3. If black connects at 3, then A cannot be captured. However, if black were to move somewhere else, say cutting with 3, then now white can capture A because white moved somewhere else first and now is allowed to capture A by placing a stone at 4. So that is how the ko rule would be seen in a game. Now, if we go back at this point where white had to move somewhere else, if white had made some other move, say like this, rather than connecting over here, then what white has done is allowed black to capture another white stone at the top, here shown in A. So in that case, black could then prevent white from being recaptured by capturing the stone marked A, like so. So it is crucial for white to play here at 2 in order to prevent that from happening and be able to capture stone A. Here's another problem for you. Let's say it's black's turn, and you are white. But black goes in for the kill and takes 2 of your white stones. Can you, without breaking any rules, recapture 1? Think about it. The answer is yes, you can recapture 1, because by doing so, the board does not look the same as it was before black had captured the 2 white stones. So here it is before the capture. Here it is after your recapture. They don't look the same. The board is not the same. So it is totally legal for you to recapture that stone. Okay, here's another one. If you are black, where could you play a ko? So whenever you are looking for a ko, you first have to look for an Atari. So where does black have an Atari on white? The answer is, of course, on the right side. Black can play right there and capture the white stone, thus beginning a ko battle. In our final example, let's say that you are white. It's black's turn, and black decides to capture your stone here at 1. You want to recapture that stone, but you can't do that immediately because of the ko rule. Where would you play so that you could definitely capture 1? The answer is you want to put pressure on black. You want to force black's hand to move somewhere else so that it would not be able to connect with 1 and prevent you from recapturing. So the correct answer would be to cut over here. This forces black's hand to deal with the Atari that it faces. In order to do that, black should connect here at 3, and then you are free to recapture that stone because you placed your stone somewhere else after the first capture. So you play at 4. If you would have placed your stone somewhere else randomly, say here for example, then black has no reason to not play to connect 1 right there. So by forcing black to move somewhere else, you are then allowing yourself to recapture the stone, which was our highest prioritized goal at that time. All right, thanks for watching lesson 9. Our next lesson will be on territory, so I'll see you there.